Welcome to the Lester Group. This video outlines the responsibilities of subcontractors visiting our job sites. For further information regarding policies and procedures, please refer to your subcontractor agreement. Lester Construction is a full-service building contractor that offers design-build custom homes and custom renovations. We are committed to the goal of providing and maintaining a healthy and safe working environment with a view to continuous improvement. This goal can only be achieved by adherence to established objectives and obligations under applicable legislation and by fostering an enthusiastic commitment to health, safety, and the environment among Lester Construction's employees, subcontractors, customers, and visitors. We are committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment free from violence and harassment, ensuring that this policy and program is implemented and maintained and that all employees have the appropriate information and training to protect themselves from violence in the workplace as well as workplace harassment. Employees and subcontractors will be expected to work in compliance with this policy and program. The goal is to prevent and eliminate workplace violence and harassment on its projects, properties, and in every aspect of its company's operations. Prior to starting on a project, subcontractors shall provide the office with updated copies of the following safety-related documentation: a signed compliance package and subcontractor agreement, WSIB certificate of clearance, valid proof of liability insurance, Form 1000, registration of constructors and employers engaged in construction, safety data sheets or SDS for all hazardous materials that are brought onto any projects, certificate for working at heights training for owners and each employee where applicable. No subcontractor shall start work on a project until all the above documentation has been submitted to management. Subcontractors of Lester Construction will be responsible for the following when on Lester Construction projects: ensuring that equipment, materials, and protective devices are provided, maintained in good condition, used as required by the Occupational Health and Safety Act and applicable regulations. For example, PPE, scaffolding, powered equipment, fall arrest equipment, etc. Procedures required by the Occupational Health and Safety Act and applicable regulations are carried out on all projects. Subcontractors must ensure that any building, structure, or part of any workplace, whether temporary or permanent, can support any loads that may be applied to them. Subcontractors must provide information, instruction, and supervision to workers to protect the health and safety of the workers. Subcontractors shall provide workers with written instructions for steps that must be taken for their protection where required by the Act or regulations. Subcontractors must report all accidents, incidents, and emergencies to management immediately. Incident report is to be completed and submitted to management within 24 hours. Subcontractors shall ensure that workers have been trained and have proof of training for equipment or task-specific hazards where required, such as working at heights for working above 10 feet or for power-elevated work platforms. Subcontractors shall ensure that all work is supervised and inspect the workplace personally. The supervisor shall inspect the entire workplace to ensure that no activity or part of the workplace endangers any worker. If at any time a supervisor feels that work is unsafe, they shall stop the work until the necessary corrective actions are implemented. If a supervisor is unsure of how to control a hazard, they shall contact the employer or the management immediately. The following progressive disciplinary actions shall be followed for willful non-compliance of legislative requirements or requirements of company policies and procedures. For first offense is a free verbal warning. A second offense is a verbal warning. Third offense is a written warning. And a fourth offense is suspension or termination of contract. There is the possibility of immediate dismissal for egregious acts. For more information, please see your compliance package. Mandatory personal protective equipment or PPE. The following PPE is required to be worn at all times by workers on Lester Construction projects. This includes CSA-approved hard hats, CSA-approved green patch safety footwear, any additional PPE as required by their employer. Supervisors shall determine when and where hazard-specific PPE is required. For the provision of PPE, subcontractors are required to provide their workers with the necessary PPE and to ensure that it is maintained in good condition and is being used properly. This video will provide guidance for the policies and procedures surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. The procedures apply to all active work sites and the personnel working within them, including employees, contractors, and subcontractors. The health and safety of our workers is top priority amid the global COVID-19 pandemic. During this time, all workplace parties must place an increased focus on health and safety to keep our work sites open. Please ensure to sign in to all work sites, office spaces, or other related areas daily upon arrival to the site. This can be conducted digitally or physically, but must be completed daily. Screening protocol includes instructions for workers and essential visitors to ensure overall health, safety, and well-being of all workplace personnel. All workers and essential visitors must answer no to the following questions. Do you have any of the following new or worsening symptoms or signs, including fever, chills, difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, cough, sore throat, trouble swallowing, runny or stuffy nose or nasal congestion, decrease or loss of smell or taste, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, not feeling well, extreme tiredness, sore muscles? Secondly, have you traveled outside of Canada in the last 14 days? And finally, have you had close contact with a confirmed or probable case of COVID-19? If anyone answers yes to the above questions, they will not be permitted on the company property, including any outdoor or partially outdoor workplaces. As per the Ministry of Health, any person who answers yes to the screening questions should also self-isolate immediately and contact telehealth as well as their healthcare provider for further guidance. COVID-19 is spread through close contact. It is extremely important that all workplace parties maintain the physical distancing requirements as advised by public health officials. 2 meters or 6 feet is required at a minimum. If this cannot be maintained due to work scope necessity, alternate means of protection or barriers must be used. We are committed to providing hand washing and hand sanitization facilities to meet the needs of the volume of personnel within the workplace. Signage describing proper hand washing and hand sanitization techniques will be made available and visibly posted where possible. Offices and worksite trailers. Limit use to an as-required basis. All offices and worksite trailers will be cleaned with disinfecting cleaning products daily, with additional cleaning completed throughout the day as required. Washrooms and portable toilets will be stocked with either hand sanitizer and/or soap and water. They will be cleaned and serviced based on usage, in any case at a minimum twice per week. Tools and equipment should be disinfected, with all high-touch surfaces disinfected daily, such as doorknobs, handrails, steering wheels, hand controls, buttons, shared radios, phones, and all shared tools. To ensure consistency of inspections at all work sites, a health and hygiene inspection was developed and implemented to effectively validate control measures put in place to protect employees, contractors, and trades from the risks associated with COVID-19. Health and safety representatives will conduct regular inspections of active work sites, including offices, shops, storage areas, to monitor the adherence of COVID-19 prevention procedures and to record inspection findings. Subcontractors are required to conduct workplace screening of their workers prior to allowing site access daily. Subcontractors are required to provide hand cleaning capabilities for workers. This can be done in the form of a portable hand wash station or hand sanitizer available at each work site. Subcontractors shall monitor and assess their own workforce continuously and ensure they are fit for duty throughout the shift. Management shall review the COVID-19 procedures with the subcontractor representatives upon arrival to the worksite. Subcontractors must adhere to the COVID-19 procedures, and if determined to be in violation, they will be dismissed from the sites. Remember that every worker should make themselves familiar with their rights and responsibilities, as well as the employment standards in Ontario. Workers have the right to know about hazards in their workplace. They have the right to participate in company safety, and they have the right to refuse unsafe work. Once you have completed the orientation and understand the requirements expected of you, the subcontractor, please fill out, sign, and return the compliance package. Thank you for joining us in our powerful advancement into the future.